You have entered Noir Alley, where every week your host, that's me, Eddie Muller, leads a guided tour through the crime-infested streets of classic cinema. Today, the term classic is being stretched beyond the breaking point to include Cage of Evil, a cop-gone-bad story from 1960, made on borrowed time and with virtually no budget. To properly adjust your expectations, be advised that this is one of 8 feature films made in 1960 by director Edward L. Kahn. Well, it was one of 8 released in 1960. He could have made it in 1959, and I'll bet Mr. Kahn couldn't remember when he made it, since he made 9 pictures in 1959 and 11 more in 1961. When you direct 28 feature films in less than 36 months, you're not trying to be Orson Welles. You're sticking with a single master shot for an awful lot of scenes. And don't expect moody lighting either. To save time, it's shot just like TV, brightly, with virtually no shadows. The producer of Cage of Evil, Robert E. Kent, had written B movies at various studios since 1937. During the 40s, he became a protege of independent producer Edward Small, and with Small's encouragement, Kent started producing his own pictures in 1957. Westerns, crime movies, sci-fi, and horror. Kent and Kahn previously had teamed up for the 1958 classic, It, the Terror from Beyond Space, a schlocky 50s forerunner to Alien. This was a time when the once mighty studio system was crumbling, and lots of old hands joined forces to produce and distribute their own movies, sharing the profits to be found on the bottom half of double bills. The guys who made Cage of Evil had been at the game a long time. Eddie Kahn, who started as an editor, directed his first movie, Up for Murder, in 1931. Supervising editor Grant Wytock cut his first picture in 1917 and was one of the editors on Erich von Stroheim's legendary 1924 production, Greed. Screenwriter Orville Hampton was a kid by comparison, having sold his first feature script, Motor Patrol, in 1950. In the 10 years that followed, he wrote 45 more. And after Cage of Evil, there were 20 more features, not to mention hundreds of TV shows. Hampton's Cage of Evil script would have fit right into the original noir era. Ron Foster, who sports a head of hair that could make Ben Mankiewicz jealous, plays a hot-headed cop investigating a jewel robbery. He gets a bit too cozy with a female suspect, played by photogenic Patsy Lou Blake, a model from Dallas who changed her name to Patricia Blair after Warner Brothers signed her in 1955. Here she's billed as Pat Blair, which could be a tip-off. When you change the name you've already changed, maybe you don't want people knowing you're in the film. The plot is a pastiche of elements from far better movies, a bit of On Dangerous Ground mixed with Crisscross and Shield for Murder, with one character straight out of the 1951 classic The Prowler. John Maxwell, who played the folksy partner of dirty cop Van Heflin in that film, essentially reprises that character here, although he's been promoted from patrolman to detective. How he managed that is a mystery because he's one of the most lunk-headed lawmen I've ever seen in a movie. I think I've given you fair warning. This one starts a little slow, with the first 10 minutes or so filled with expository dialogue delivered in time-saving master shots. Things perk up considerably once Pat Blair shows up. I would be shocked if it took more than several days to shoot this whole picture, and I am positive the apartment, nightclub, and motel room where most of the action takes place are all the same set, with the furniture moved around. Look, I'm not going to dispense false hope. You may need a couple of drinks to get to the finish line, but I know there are people out there with very simple tastes. It is for those good people that I offer, from 1960, Cage of Evil.